struggled to force my way to the top of the water, but the more I fought, the deeper I plunged. Hold your breath. Remain calm, I told myself. But I was anything but calm. I'll drown, die before I reach my 21st birthday. The sad part about the situation is that it was at the hand of my older brother. Then a wave struck me. I felt an arm curl around my waist and I was being pulled towards the surface. As soon as my head broke the water, I gasped, coughing, trying to take in as much air as I could while keeping a deep grip on my brother William's shoulder. "You asshole!" I choked when I reached the edge of the pool. "I fucking hate you!" "Relax, you're fine. The only way you'll learn is to dive right in," William said with a sinister grin. I stood at the edge of the 5-foot-deep backyard pool, shivering so hard my teeth chattered. It was the middle of August, too warm to be this cold, but my bones felt like the temperature was closer to the -20s. I normally didn't go any further than putting my feet in and kicking around, but that day was different. That day, I was being forced to plunge right into a nightmare I could never wake up from. Week 1 at the police academy was pretty much everything I expected it to be. "On your face and kiss Satan good morning," yelled an instructor from somewhere behind us. "You fucks will push the great state of Texas into the ground every day, all day." I had lost count by the time my arms started to feel like wet noodles, and then the real fun started. "Hurry up, get into formation." Running is my least favorite activity, but it beat rolling around on the hot dirt. I focused on my breathing and did my best to keep pace with the recruit in front of me, while the rest of the group belted out Jody's along with the instructor. It was 6 a.m., and the sun was already scorching my skin. 3 miles in total, and it was time for reaction scenarios. "You're responding to a 911 hang-up call. You will assess the scene and react and respond as necessary," came the instructions. When it came time for Mark and my turn, we rounded a makeshift corner that simulates a campsite. In front of us, there was a dummy floating in the middle of a very large portable pool. "Scene is clear. Get the victim out and I'll radio for medic and backup," Mark said, reaching for his radio. I stripped off my web belt and made my way to the pool. Then I froze, right there at the lip of the pool. I heard my partner in the background calling commands in the radio. 31-6 Bravo on scene. 1 victim unresponsive in the water. Request medical and a supervisor. 1 minute left, dipshits. Make something happen or you'll work parking duty for the rest of your career, our instructor belted. "Tim," Mark yelled, "jump in and get him out. What are you waiting for, bro?" But I couldn't move, or even breathe. Everything was in slow motion when I heard Mark's duty belt fall to the ground and I felt the wind as he ran past me. The splash brought me back to reality and I saw Mark swimming towards the edge of the pool with the 100-pound dummy in tow. I reached my hand out and grabbed the shirt collar of the dummy and pulled it the rest of the way out. Mark gave me a glare before climbing out himself, training uniform drenched. A loud whistle blew in the background, and Instructor Briggs came marching towards us. "Well, this asshole's dead, your partner drowned, and neither of you noticed the goddamn kid fucking with his dad's cell phone in the corner. Maybe if Parks here leaned over a little more and pulled his head out of his ass, you could have at least saved the victim. 15 laps, get going," Briggs ordered us. "Sir, yes sir," we both said in unison and made our way across the field to the track. "Dude, what the fuck was that back there?" Mark huffed as we started our laps. I didn't answer, just kept running, trying to stay ahead of Mark as best I could, but he was for sure the better runner. "Yo, you gonna answer me? Do I need to worry when it's you that's coming to save my ass if I'm in that shit? I need to depend on you when it counts, man," he spat. I shook my head, clearing my thoughts. "Look, it's nothing. I just lost focus trying to come up with a fast solution, that's all." "Solution? You had one job, Tim. Jump in and pull out the damn dummy. That's it." We both dropped the ball, not noticing the damn picture of the kid, but that wasn't what the scenario was about. "You fucked us both, man. Keep your head in the game." And with that, he charged forward, leaving me to finish the punishment. Graduation came, and before I knew it, I was started out on patrol alone. Not so surprising, they had me assigned to a desolate beat where not much happened. Mark became the superstar he wanted to be. I took it easy that night. Wasn't looking for anything in particular, just cruising around with my coffee until the end of my shift. I turned onto a bridge that led to a park where a lot of teenagers like to drink late at night. Oh, why not? I thought to myself. I blacked out the patrol car and slowly rolled it across the bridge when I noticed some light coming from the creek under the bridge. Probably some night fishermen out trying to get some catfish. That's when I heard the scream. "Help us! Please, somebody help!" I slammed on the brakes and stepped out of my cruiser, making my way towards the guardrail. I aimed my flashlight towards the sound and illuminated some kind of SUV or van in the water bobbing up and down, the headlights still on. I could see a woman holding on to the open driver's side window and a child still strapped into the car seat in the back. She must have either been thrown from the vehicle or climbed out thinking she might somehow get the child out through the window. I looked down further on the bridge and spotted a large chunk of guardrail missing and skid marks. "Ma'am," I yelled, "it's the police. Hang on, I'll get you out." I keyed my shoulder mic. 29 Alpha to base. I have a 1072 on the Randolph Bridge leading to Chesapeake Road. 1 female victim and 1 child in the water. The communications center radioed back. 10-4, 29 Alpha. Fire and rescue en route, but it's gonna be a minute. We have a large structure fire and all resources are tied up on the other side of the county. Damn it, I thought. These people don't have a minute. The current will sweep that car and them away. I tore off down the embankment at the edge of the bridge and searched for anything that would help. A branch, some rope, anything, but the area was bare. 39 Delta to 29 Alpha, what's your situation? Came a familiar voice over the radio. It's Mark. 29 Alpha, it's bad. The vehicle is taking on water and I can't reach them. The current is going to overtake it soon. Hang in there, man. I'm screaming your way up Route 71 now. Should be to you in 10 minutes, Mark replied. That's too long, I said under my breath. I stepped close to the edge of the river and shined my light in the direction of the SUV. Please, don't let my baby drown, the women screamed over the sound of the water, and that's all my brain registered. Water splashed over the nearby rocks and flowed downstream. Sweat started beading over my forehead and the rest of my body. My hands started to shake, and I couldn't speak or move. The scream of a crying child woke me from my trance. "Ma'am, hold on, help is coming," I called out to the woman, but she was no longer hanging on to the SUV. I looked all around the river, up and down, but didn't see her. All I heard was the child. The SUV now almost submerged. "I need to depend on you when it counts, man," the thought repeats in my head, but it isn't my voice at all. Without thinking, I unsnapped the belt keeper, securing my belt, and dropped it to the ground. I entered the water and immediately knew that it was a lot deeper than I expected. The weight of the undercurrent nearly swept me downriver, but I fought against it. No, don't fight. Float with it towards the car, I tried to remind myself. Slow, purposeful strokes. When I reached the SUV, I grabbed for the bike racks on the roof and steadied myself. I was able to see that the water was nearly reached the seat where the child was strapped in. I keep a folding knife with a glass breaker attached to it in my pocket, so I reached for it. You have one shot at this, I thought, and I struck the glass, shattering it. I broke the remaining pieces away with my elbow. Pain shot through my forearm as a shard ripped through my shirt, slicing my forearm. I could reach in and unlatch the safety buckle on the child's seat and pulled the child free. Kicking with my feet to keep myself steady, I turned and looked for the shore, but it was too dark. I noticed the sound of sirens in the distance and swam towards them, keeping the child's head above water, knowing the shore couldn't be far from the road. My arms were going numb already, but there was no way I would let this child die. Not today. I see a light shining towards our direction and aimed straight for it until I reached the shore and trudged my way to safety. When I reached dry land, I saw Mark kneeling beside a frightened woman. The woman from the SUV. Thank God she made it out somehow. When she noticed me approaching with her child in my arms, she sprinted towards me. "Austin! Sweet Jesus, thank you so much!" she cried out as I handed her the baby. Mark approached me with a look of disbelief on his face. "When I got here, she was hanging on to a tree near the bank," he said, pointing upriver. I got her out, and she kept screaming about her baby being trapped in the car, but by the time I got her to shore, I couldn't find it. Then you show up out of nowhere, kid in tow. I thought maybe the current got both of you, he said, embracing me in a tight hug. He leaned in and whispered in my ear, "The fears we overcome when it counts."